Henry VI of England ascended the throne as an infant and reigned during one of the most unstable and turbulent periods in English history. His early reign was marked by regency governments, the continuation of the Hundred Years' War, deep political factionalism, and the seeds of future civil war. Henry VI became King of England at just 9 months old upon the death of his father, King Henry V, on August 31, 1422. He also inherited the title of King of France shortly after, in October 1422, when Charles VI of France died, in accordance with the Treaty of Troyes, 1420. This made Henry VI the only English king ever crowned King of both England and France, though his claim to the French throne was hotly contested. The Regency period. Because Henry was a baby, a dual regency was established. In England, his uncle Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester, acted as Lord Protector. In France, another uncle, John, Duke of Bedford, served as regent of France and led military campaigns to maintain English territories. These two powerful uncles clashed frequently, leading to political instability. Gloucester was often reckless and unpopular, while Bedford was a more skilled diplomat and military leader. Henry VI was deeply pious, scholarly, and gentle, qualities admired in a monk but ill-suited to kingship. He was educated by tutors like Richard de Beauchamp, the Earl of Warwick. As he grew older, he showed little interest in war or politics, in contrast to his warrior father. 100 Years' War and decline in France. During the 1420s and 1430s, England initially maintained many of its gains in France, especially under Bedford's leadership. Joan of Arc's rise in 1429 and the crowning of Charles VII in Reims began to turn the tide. The death of Bedford in 1435 marked a turning point. English forces gradually lost territory. By the late 1430s, Burgundy, a key English ally, switched sides, weakening England's position. England lost control of Paris in 1436. Coronation ceremonies. Crowned King of England in Westminster Abbey in 1429. Crowned King of France in Paris at Notre Dame in 1431, though this was largely symbolic and not recognized by most French. Factionalism and governance. As Henry came of age, declared of age in 1437 at age 16, he increasingly relied on unpopular favorites, especially William de la Pole, Duke of Suffolk. The influence of courtiers like Suffolk created resentment among the nobility and stirred divisions at court. Shapur II, also known as Shapur the Great, was the 10th king of the Sasanian Empire, and remarkably, he was crowned while still in the womb, the only monarch in history said to be chosen before birth. After the death of his father, Hormizd II, a period of political chaos ensued. The Persian nobility, to prevent infighting, placed the crown on the unborn child, and Shapur II became king upon birth in 309 CE. Regency government, 309–325 CE. During his early years, the empire was ruled by powerful nobles and clergy as regents. This period was marked by internal strife and border raids by Arab tribes and the Roman Empire. Coming of age and consolidation, circa 325 CE onward, in his teenage years, Shapur II took full control of the government. He began a strong centralization of power, reducing the influence of the nobility and reasserting royal authority. Arab campaigns. One of his first major actions was a brutal military campaign against Arab tribes who had raided Persian territory. He earned the nickname Du al-Aktav, he who pierces shoulders, for his harsh tactics. Military reforms. Shapur II reorganized the military and fortified the empire's borders, preparing for future conflicts with Rome. Shapur II's early reign laid the foundation for his long and powerful rule, which would see major military campaigns against Rome, Arabs, and Central Asian nomads, and a revival of Zoroastrianism as a state religion. His early consolidation of power helped stabilize the empire and marked the beginning of a Sasanian Golden Age. Puyi, also known as the Xuantong Emperor, was the last emperor of China. He ascended the throne in 1908 at the age of 2 and ruled as the 12th and final emperor of the Qing dynasty until his abdication in 1912, following the Xinhai Revolution, which ended over 2,000 years of imperial rule. Qing Dynasty Emperor, 1908 to 1912, Puyi's reign as emperor was largely symbolic, with real power held by court officials like Empress Dowager Longyu. He abdicated in 1912 after the Republican Revolution led by Sun Yat-sen, though he was allowed to remain in the Forbidden City under a special agreement until 1924. Emperor of Manchukuo, 1934 to 1945. In 1934, Puyi was installed as puppet emperor of Manchukuo, a Japanese-controlled state in northeast China, Manchuria. His role was largely ceremonial, with real power held by the Japanese military. This period damaged his reputation among Chinese nationalists. Captured and imprisoned, 1945 to 1959, after Japan's defeat in World War II, Puyi was captured by the Soviets and later handed over to Communist China. He spent years in a re-education prison under Mao Zedong's regime. Released in 1959, Puyi became a common citizen, working as a gardener and editor in Beijing. He expressed support for the Communist Party and lived quietly until his death in 1967. Alfonso XIII was born King of Spain in 1886, as his father, Alfonso XII, had died before his birth. He officially began ruling in 1902 at age 16. His reign was marked by political instability, military interference, and social unrest. Constitutional monarchy. Spain was a constitutional monarchy, but Alfonso often intervened directly in politics, undermining parliamentary democracy. Social and political turmoil. Spain faced growing unrest from workers, anarchists, and nationalists, especially in Catalonia and the Basque Country. Colonial defeats. The disastrous defeat in the Rif War, especially the 1921 Battle of Anual, damaged both the armies and the king's reputation. Dictatorship of Primo de Rivera, 1923 to 1930. In 1923, Alfonso supported a military coup by General Miguel Primo de Rivera, who ruled as dictator with the king's backing. This move further alienated Democrats and Republicans. After Primo de Rivera's resignation and growing opposition to the monarchy, municipal elections in 1931 showed overwhelming support for a republic. Alfonso went into exile, and the Second Spanish Republic was proclaimed. Jean I of France, also known as John the Posthumous, had one of the shortest reigns in history. He was born on November 15, 1316, as the posthumous son of King Louis X and Queen Clementia of Hungary. Reign duration. Jean I was king from birth until his death 5 days later, ruling from November 15 to November 20, 1316. Regency. During his brief life, France was governed by his uncle, Philip, Count of Poitiers, who acted as regent. Death and succession. Jean died mysteriously as an infant, and Philip became King Philip V of France. Some rumors and legends suggested Jean may have been murdered, but no proof exists. Tutankhamun, often called King Tut, was a pharaoh of Egypt's 18th dynasty during the New Kingdom period. Though he ruled for less than a decade and died young, he is one of the most famous pharaohs due to the discovery of his nearly intact tomb in 1922. Birth. Tutankhamun was born around 1341 BCE, originally named Tutankhaten, meaning living image of Aten. His father was most likely Akhenaten, formerly Amenhotep IV, the controversial pharaoh who introduced monotheistic worship of the sun god Aten. His mother was likely a sister or cousin of Akhenaten, possibly Kia or an unnamed royal woman. Tutankhamun was physically frail, likely due to inbreeding. His parents were siblings. Studies of his mummy revealed he had a cleft palate, clubfoot, and possibly suffered from malaria and bone necrosis. Accession to the throne. Became pharaoh at age 8 or 9 around 1332 BCE, after the death of Smenkhkare or possibly Neferneferuaten, a successor or co-ruler of Akhenaten. His reign began during a period of religious and political upheaval due to his father's radical reforms. Reign, circa 1332 to 1323 BCE, originally named Tutankhaten, living image of Aten, he changed his name to Tutankhamun, living image of Amun, to reflect the restoration of traditional Egyptian religion. Reinstated the worship of Amun and other gods, reopened temples, and moved the capital from Akhetaten, Amarna, back to Thebes. These changes were likely guided by powerful advisors, especially a vizier who later became pharaoh, and Hormheb, a military general. Married his half-sister or full sister Ankhesenamun, daughter of Akhenaten and Nefertiti. Their union produced no surviving heirs, though 2 mummified stillborn daughters were found in his tomb. While little is known about his foreign policy, some inscriptions suggest Egypt tried to restore diplomatic and military strength. He left behind stelae and inscriptions reaffirming Egypt's traditional religious and political values. Died around 1323 BCE, likely between the ages of 18 and 19. Cause of death, still debated, but theories include a broken leg complicated by malaria, genetic disorders from inbreeding, an accident, such as a chariot crash or fall, No conclusive evidence of murder. Burial, buried in a small tomb, KV 62, in the Valley of the Kings, likely due to his sudden death. The tomb was hastily prepared but filled with treasures, including the iconic golden funerary mask, chariots, jewelry, statues, and furniture. Legacy and rediscovery. Rediscovered in 1922 by British archaeologist Howard Carter, funded by Lord Carnarvon. The discovery caused a global sensation and sparked lasting fascination with ancient Egypt. His tomb was the most complete royal burial ever found in Egypt, offering unparalleled insight into burial practices and New Kingdom life. King Tut became a symbol of ancient Egypt's grandeur and mystery. His tomb's discovery fueled interest in Egyptology and contributed to the myth of the Pharaoh's curse.